Between the Lines of Coach Stella. I'm L. I'm here with Coach Stella, and now we about to get into our Stella Scope. These are the games that Coach Stella wants us to keep our eye on going into week 2.
No doubt,
what
baby.
We got, Coach?
Let's jump right into it, man. I only got 2 games this week. A lot of times I like to get 3 or 4, but this week I got 2. So the first game I got my eye on is Mooney, 1-0, traveling to play at Garfield Heights, 1-0. I'm going to pat myself on the back a little bit, AO. Last week, you asked me about 3 programs I had my eye on. Garfield Heights was one of those teams, man. They slept on. They ain't getting a lot of fanfare, but they got a really good football team. Anytime you go play at Canfield week 1 and come out of there with a victory 27-24, you're a good football team. So Coach Max Stevens, I talked about it. Really good coach, year 2 at the program. He does a good job building relationships with the kids, being able to get talent, and he's a really good coach and really good guy. So kids like to play for Coach Stevens, like to be around him, father figure, mentor. So I knew it would be only a matter of time before he slowly would get Garfield Heights to where he would want it. And they showed that last week. Like I said, anytime you go to Canfield, beat Canfield at Canfield, ain't too much more to say. They got a lot of talent, but what that showed me was they're tough, they're physical, they're disciplined. You go win at Canfield, you have to have all 3 of those things. So shout out to Coach Stevens and his team. And he got some talent over there, man. Running back Elijah Harris, wide receiver King Young, edge Caro Holly, defensive tackle Cameron Zebbs. Terrence Bird Jr. is just an athlete. He can kind of do it all, DB, quarterback, receiver, anything. And Cameron DeJarnette. These are all kids that are getting college looks. So that's what Coach Stevens got over there right now. And again, to be able to go win at Canfield 27-24 week 1 on the road, that showed me everything they need to see, and they moving in the right direction. So my coach's eye for this week when it comes to Garfield Heights is, can they get their running game going offensively versus a really good front 7 in Mooney? Mooney has a really good front 7. Dom Letlow, Devon Perry came over, the mad scientist Rocco in the middle. You got the wild man Brady Desmond, can play in the box, he can play over the slot. So just that front 7 alone, if Garfield Heights can establish a run against that front 7, number one, it gives them a great advantage to be able to win the game Friday. But what it does is gives them a higher ceiling as far as the type of football team they can be for the rest of the year. If you can run the ball against Mooney with that front 7, that's great for your future in the rest of the year. So that's what I'm looking at with Garfield Heights. A lot of the talent, I just named some kids, but this week specifically, I want to see if they can get their running game going against this front 7 from Mooney, because how good they are. Mm-hmm. On the flip side, they're playing against Mooney. Mooney got it done last week, 41-7 versus Lake Catholic. Shout out to Coach Frank. He's doing a great job with his staff. We know they got really good players at every level. Quarterback Vince Gentile, he threw 2 touchdowns to Braden Bryan last week. Shout out to Braden. Braden back playing. I know he's happy about being back on the field, so shout out to Braden. The wild man, Brady Desmond, had a 15-yard pick 6. So all in all, it was a good week for Mooney. I ain't going to sit here and talk a lot about Mooney because I know what their goals are and I know what my expectations for them are. So week 1 win versus Lake Catholic, good win. They took care of business. They did what they were supposed to do. Now they move on to Garfield Heights. So my coach's eye with Mooney this week is, can they oppose a physical style of play on both sides of the ball to help neutralize Garfield Heights athletes? You know what I mean? It's kind of opposite of what I'm saying. Anytime, it's almost like they say, how do you stop speed? How do you stop athleticism? By hitting them, by being physical, by being tough. I know that's something Mooney probably going to want to do this week playing against Garfield Heights. I'm not saying Garfield Heights is about to lay over or they're not tough, but I'm saying just comparing both teams, Mooney is the bigger, more physical football team. Garfield Heights has a lot of good athletes, but they showed last week winning at Canfield that they're a physical, tough team too. Mm-hmm. So that's what I kind of want to see from Mooney. Can they impose their physical style of play on both sides of the ball? Offensively, can they run the ball when they want to run the ball, to set up play action and take advantage of our athletes? But it's Northeast Ohio. It's high school football. I want to be able to run the football when I want to run the football, how I want to run the football. I want to dictate those terms. So can Mooney do that? And then on the flip side, can they shut down the run game that I just said I'm looking at for Garfield Heights? Can they shut that run game down, make Garfield Heights one-dimensional? And now you got to worry about blocking Dom Letlow in pass rush situations. Now you got to try to identify where Brady Desmond at. Is he blitzing? Is he dropping? So that's what I got my eye on for that game. I think that's going to be a good football game. Mooney at Garfield Heights. In the second game, bro, self-explanatory. Youngstown defenders traveling to Warren G. Harding playing Molotov Stadium. Defenders got their first game, first win in team history. First, of course, it was the first game in team history. They got it done. They won 13-10 versus Boardman. The defense had a really good night. They only gave up 151 total yards, and they didn't give up no play longer than 13 yards. So that let me know the defense had a really good night. Shout out to my boy Deion Perry, leader over there, getting them boys lined up and ready. Draylon Tubbs is a really good defensive lineman. A lot of people keep your eye on Draylon Tubbs, a really good football player. Dalen Farrell, good corner. We know what Tazelle White can do, a good defensive back. So shout out to the defense, man. They put their best foot forward. Offensively, Asante Michael had a really good game. You know what I mean? He was that dual threat quarterback that he's been. He threw 421 yards in the passing touchdown. He added 71 yards rushing. That's a really good game for a high school quarterback. Shout out to DK, our boy Tristan Pollard, a.k.a. DK, had a 2-yard rushing touchdown. Deshaun Matlock had a 13-yard touchdown catch. And Dalen Farrell, he led the team with 5 catches for 60 yards. So they got multiple guys involved. Defense did what they were supposed to do. And the defenders are not only learning their self as a team, learning their coaches, but now they have to learn how to go do this together on game nights. You know what I mean? Where other programs is like, yeah, I need to see what this player can do, this player could do. But we kind of know how we gel on game night. We kind of know our vibes on game night, our identity. They learning everything on the fly. So the fact they was able to get a win in their first ever game in team history, that's big. So shout out to those guys. And the offensive line had a good night. You know what I mean? Anytime the team run for 150 yards total, doing a good job protecting Asante. The offensive line had a good night. So congratulations to the program, the coaches, and players on their first victory. My coach's eye for the defenders this week playing against Harding is, though, can the defenders dominate and control the run game on both sides of the ball? So if I'm the defenders, I'm going into this game. If it's basketball, I want to shrink the game in half. I want to cut the game in half. How can I do that? I want to be able to run the ball anytime I can offensively. You know what I mean? Can they get Tristan Pollard going? Can they get a lot of their backs? They got a lot of backs over there that can run. So can we run this ball and run it the way we want to run it to slow down, not to slow down, but to help Asante out? You know what I mean? We want to have a balanced attack. Like I just said, we want to run on our terms and we want to run. So then that way if we get the run game going, now you got Asante's legs you got to worry about. Now we can pass the ball, and now we just kind of got all the ingredients in this gumbo to kind of get it going the way we want to go it. But then on the flip side, you playing against Harney, running back Makai Brogdon, playing against a Coach Richardson team. You know he want to run the football. So if they can do a good job stopping the run, you know what I mean, and running the ball on offense, that gives them a better chance and a better chance to win the football game. And then kind of for both teams, I'm just saying it right now for the defenders, but something I'm looking at for both teams is who can control their emotions the best for a 48-minute game. Mm-hmm. And what I'm saying is it's Warren versus Youngstown. Ain't too much selling that got to go into this. I know the Youngstown kids is geeked up. I know the Warren kids is geeked up, especially coming off a loss like they had last week. So I know they want to get that taste out of their mouth. My whole life, playing, coaching, when I was younger, I didn't like Youngstown because you always had to prove yourself against Youngstown teams. You know what I mean? If you in Warren, nobody in Warren was saying you were a good player unless you played against a Youngstown team. In football, you could go do it at Mill Creek Park. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? In basketball, you can go down to the old Youngstown South leagues and all that and go over there and get it done. So when I was younger, I didn't like him. Now as a grown man, my respect and love is there for Youngstown because it's like your favorite family member that you had to fight all the time growing up. Mm-hmm. I ain't like you growing up because we had to fight all the time. But I know how much those fight now has made me a better man now that I'm grown. So my love for Youngstown will be there forever because they helped make me who I am. Now on the flip side, Warren G. Harding, we know they lost last week at Camp McKinley 33-0. I think the defense battle for a couple quarters for most part of the night. Playing McKinley, you're going to give up some big plays. You're going to give up a couple plays here and there just based on the caliber athlete you playing, their mindset, and kind of how good of a football team they are. I thought the defense battled. They didn't play great, but I did think they battled. I thought they competed. Need to do a better job of tackling. But they battled. They need to continue to get better. I know Coach Ongaro is doing a good job coaching them up. And that's one thing about a Coach Ongaro defense. They're going to continue to get better. I know he's not happy with giving up 33 points, even though part of that was a pick six, but I got faith in Coach Ongaro. He'll continue to coach him up. He'll continue to get him better as long as he got the kids that's willing to battle and willing to fight. Offensively, tough night. I mean, ain't no other way to say it. Now, I'm just going off the kind of the stats I've been reading out of 2-3 newspapers, people that I talk to, other analysts or writers that's at the game sending me the stats. You get 53 total yards and 3 first downs in a 4-quarter football game. That's tough to do. That's tough to do. And when you do, when that happens, it's almost like it's only week 1, but we need to go back to the drawing board. That ain't no shade at nobody. That's just the facts. You playing in a 4-quarter football game, you get 53 total yards and 3 first downs. We got to be able to do something better offensively because that's putting too much stress on the defense. Like, I don't care how good your defensive is, what level, high school, college, and pro. If we got to continue to be on the field, and you playing against a team like Cam McKinley that got good football players, good athletes, at some point they're going to make plays. We're not going to be able to shut them out all night. But if we can go over here and we can sit down and watch a long drive at our offense and really get refreshed and listen to with our coaches, the adjustments, and looking at the iPads, all that does is help out. So we all know, everybody know Warren G. Harding got to have a bounce-back performance this week. I don't think I'm saying nothing that nobody in Warren, Ohio hasn't said and won't agree with. We got to do a better job this week. Offensively, we need to have a better week. And we got to bounce back. And so my coach's eye with Warren G. Harding is, I'm not going to change. Winning intangibles. You either have them or you don't. I don't care how much talent you have, and I'm not just talking about Harding in this instance. I'm using them as an example, but I'm not just talking about them. It don't matter how much talent you have. If you don't have winning intangibles as a team, you're not going to be a good football team. It don't matter. What's winning intangibles? Do we have tone setters? Do we have leaders? When we come to the game, whether we getting off the bus, when we walk in the stadium, is the number one priority and goal of everybody to win the game? Or is it, hey, I want to ball out. I want to get my catches. I want to get a sack. I'm not saying this is what they're thinking, but this is winning intangibles. Adversity. If the team go down and they score on us, is the offense going to look at each other like, no, it's our turn. Let's go down and score right back on them. Let's let the defense get some rest, and let's go make sure we go out there and get a touchdown and come back. Toughness, physically and more so mentally. Can you handle adversity from your coaching? Can you, as a player, can you go to the sideline, your coach tell you just sucked on that series? You're not going to pout about it. You're not going to point the fingers at whoever I'm playing next to me. My bad, coach, I got you, and it ain't going to happen again, and actually go do it. So my coach's eye for Warren G. Hardy, the first thing is, do we have winning intangibles? Second thing is identity. That's mostly offensively. Defensively, I know what a Coach Ongaro identity is going to be. He's going to attack you from multiple different ways, multiple different stunts, blitzes, and he's going to continue to attack you. Continue to attack your quarterback, your offensive line. He's going to find one-on-ones for his front 7 players, his best players, and he's going to attack you. That's what his mindset is going to be. That's what the identity is going to be. So I know what the defensive identity is. They just need to go play better. You know what I mean? And now, offensively, we got to figure out our identity. You got to figure out our identity. I don't know what our identity is right now. I don't know if we're a run team. I don't know if we're a pass team. If we're a pass team, are we a quick throwing team that throws screens? Or are we a downfield throwing team? Are we a play action throwing team? Are we a rollout team? Are we a pocket team? Are we the team that like to throw on first down? Are we a team that like to run first? Like, I don't have no clue what our identity is right now offensively. And it ain't really just this year. It's kind of been the last 2 years, you know what I mean? More so last year, only been one game this year. But what is our identity? What are we known to do, and what are we trying to come do as an offense when we play football? And the last thing is this. If you think you're a best player, if you're supposed to be considered one of the best players, if your coaches is telling you one of the best, play like it. Play like it. I think sometimes this generation, Warren kids, and I love you all to death, but I'm just speaking the honest and truth. Just because you're the best player now don't mean you one of the best players to ever play in Warren. Don't walk around like that. Don't think and talk like that. Because what I'm seeing is you can't be on the football field and we got 53 total yards, but we supposed to have all these good players. That don't add up and make sense. So my message is to anybody in the program that think you're a good player, be a good player on game night. And it ain't just come down to making plays. You know what I mean? You got to be a tone setter. You got to be a leader. You got to make sure your team is ready to rock. I can't be telling L something to do if I'm not willing to do that. I can't be telling you to block if I just want to run the ball or catch the ball. I can't be telling you to spill blocks and make the running back cut back to me, and if I'm not willing to do that when it's my time. I can't say special teams is important, but starters, after they kick off the first time, then they coming off, Coach, can I stop? You got to stop. People in the community, quit telling these kids they're good. Stop doing it. It's starting to get to their mind, because then when you go watch them play on Friday nights, y'all same people that's telling them they great, y'all the same people that's on social media, the same people that's at the store talking bad about the kids. I love you enough to tell you to your face and tell you right here on the show what it is. I love all of y'all individually. I love nothing like I do Warren kids. But if you're supposed to be one of the best players, how about we play like it? How about we quit putting stuff on social media? Another thing is, I don't know how we're losing games and people was posting stuff on social media that night or the next morning. You know what that leads to? No winning intangibles. I know it's a new generation. I know it's 2026. I know part of the game. We do it. We got a high school football show, so I get it. I know part of the vibe is to be able to put my pictures in my film or my plays on social media. How about if you lose, you just put them and save them for the end of the year for the highlight tape? How about we do that? Because at the end of the day, I'm somebody that's speaking as alumni. I'm somebody that's speaking as somebody who's won a lot of games at Warren G. Harding. So I think I know what it looked like and what it's supposed to feel like to win. Let's get back to winning intangibles. If you're supposed to be one of the best players, play like it. And at the end of the day, everybody going to be watching this week. Youngstown defenders at Warren G. Harding, Warren versus Youngstown. It's going to be lit, and it's going to be a nice environment. Whoever do these things will be the team that get it done.
Defenders at Warren G. Harding. I'm gonna just give my backstory about this competition. It goes way back for the Little Eagles versus the Northside Knights. Not you know what I'm saying, but it really do. You know what I'm saying. We've been competing with our neighbors in the valley for some time. It's always been spirited, great competition. We want to keep it that way. So we got that backyard brawl. Youngstown defenders coming in the Mullen-Carve. We excited. First thing I want to talk about is. I want to challenge the bands, the cheer squad, the student section. Let's create this environment. We go a lot of places. Whether we just talked about the St. Ignatius student section. We just talked. We go different places. We always talk about the environment for some of these games. So I want to challenge both sides to. Let's create that environment, man. Let's get the student sections excited. Let's get the bands excited. Let's get the cheer squads excited, because, you know what I'm saying, we actually got a great opportunity to get some high-quality football against our neighbors in a spirited way. Okay, so that's the first thing. Second thing, for the players, you know what I'm saying, controlled aggression. Controlled aggression, right? So when we want to see good football, we don't want to see a whole bunch of unsportsmanlike penalties or people not be able to control their emotions. So we want the passion, we want the emotion, we want you trying to win this football game. Controlled aggression. All right? That's the next thing I want to talk about. Now, as far as the game and where we are with both programs, we went over there and talked to the defenders earlier this year, and we'll include our conversation with Coach Seth Antrum for the defenders in this segment as well. But I want to talk about it's two different things, where you got the defenders creating the culture, right? And we got Warren G. Harding. The question is, are we trying to preserve a culture? Are we preserving the culture that was cultivated by all the great teams and great athletes before this recent time, or we create a new culture ourselves, or we create new culture? So that's the question that, you know what I'm saying, that the guys in that Warren G. Harding locker room gonna have to ask. They're gonna have to answer: is are we preserving our culture? Are we taking it back to like you said, the winning intangibles? If you don't know what that is, you might want to find somebody in the community who was a part of those teams, or find some citizens in the community who was around during that time or those times, and figure out what it takes to preserve what that culture is and what it's going to take to preserve it. This is just football at the end of the day. So like you said, we don't have to sell the game. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have a lot of athletes on this side of the field. You're going to have some athletes on this side of the field. So I'm excited about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited about it. But that's the question I have. Just for context, and this is not putting the pressure on the defenders or nothing like that, but Warren G. Harding, ironically, the first year that they won, well, not the first year, the last time that they won in 1990 was the first year of the consolidation. And the Youngstown defender, all those games that they won, they wasn't pretty games. And as we see, the defenders got out of Boardman with a win. It didn't matter. 13-10 is a win. It don't matter how you count it. No matter how you count it. So we just looking to find out who's who. For the Harding guys, I'm just gonna say it flat out. And pride got to kick in sometimes. At some point, pride has to kick in.
Preferably before the game.
And you know, all the finger pointing and this, that, and the third. And I think having expectation is a gift. So yeah, the criticism, when you getting indoor facilities built and all that criticism gonna come. So, you know, if you want to play for Warren G. Harding and you want all those amenities, people gonna talk crazy when you don't go out there and perform. So I think that's a advantage that some of our guys need to look at it and take advantage of. Yes, there is an expectation. There is an expectation when you get to play at this program and get to enjoy all what comes with it. I think it's only fair that we can put a little bit of expectation on you guys. So,
well said, brother.
You know, we're not coddling nothing. You know, there's going to be an expectation. You playing for Warren G. Harding. I'm sure if you didn't want that, it's the transfer portal error. There's a lot of schools that would have took a lot of you players and would have gladly opened the doors for you. But if you want to play for that black and gold, best believe it's gonna come with some expectations. So
no doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
Well said, brother.
You know, so I'm just excited. I ain't gonna drag it out. You know what I'm saying? For our Warren guys, pride got to kick in sometime. For both teams, controlled aggression, put on a great show. For the communities, let's pack the house. Let's create a great environment and some great spirited competition and represent both communities at the highest level.
Love it, bro.
And that's all I got, man.
Well said, brother.
And you know what I'm saying? We'll be looking forward to those games for the Coach Stella Scope. Great breakdown, Coach. And we'll be right back with our Ellie House games of the week.
Back, baby, between the lines with Coach Stella, season number 4. I'm here at Cheney High School. I've been kicking in with the Youngstown Defenders, and I got a head dog, the head coach, Mr. Seth Antrum. How you feeling today, Coach?
Good, man. How you doing, Coach?
I'm feeling good. Coach, year 1, this is history. So the first question is pretty simple. Talk to me about how you feel being a part of history, being the first coach of the Youngstown Defenders.
No, it's a great feeling. It's crazy to go from what, the situation Easton Cheney we're in last year to seeing the progress and seeing the step together. And the kids have been great. Honestly, a lot of the players, even from last year, we could have done this sooner, football-wise and athletically. And but it's been great. Everybody's in here, coaches are here for the kids, and seeing them mature and take responsibility on a situation that a lot of adults are relying on them to make work, and the way they grasp it and are running with it is a great feeling.
I love that, Coach. I think I know the answer to this question already. If it's good vibes here, good chemistry, coaches, players, everything. But just talk to me about the transition and how that's been. From the winter time when you learned that you were going to be named the head coach until now, we're 2 weeks away from the season. What has that transition been like? I know sometimes it's probably been a whirlwind, but I know it's probably been pretty
definitely
fun.
a whirlwind. We went from, in January, I believe, starting our lifting. We started 2 days a week at Cheney, 2 days a week at East, trying to get everybody, equal opportunity to be there and be around each other. And then, as we trickled into April, May, it started getting into football and install. And again, the kids have just been great. You interviewed 4 of them and see their personalities and stuff, and that's how the whole team is. Honestly, they've been going together to Chopin and grew up together. So having them together on the field is kind of like the final piece of the puzzle.
Right.
You know, like I said, a lot of us kind of wish it happened sooner than it did. But seeing the way they interact and stuff, that's what we do it for. And now we're on to coaching football.
Right.
And football, I don't want to say problems, but football is what we're addressing now.
No doubt, Coach. Now, I seen you earlier in the spring. We were just talking off the record. You was trying to get your staff together. Again, we're 2 weeks away. Now, talk to me about your coaching staff. I know how big and how important that was for you to find the right guys. Talk to me about your staff. Got good chemistry in here. Good guys that's sitting in here bonding with the players and the team. So talk to me about your staff. Do you feel like you got the right staff and the right people to help you carry on this mission?
Yeah, I think we have a great staff. Number one priority for us is always the kids. You know, like the relationships with our guys, the way we handle things. We want to be built off relationships. We definitely have some X and O guys and stuff, and scheme guys. We have Dylan Randolph handling our offense, which you probably know from over your way.
Shout out Coach Randolph. Good young coach.
Elijah McCaskill handling our defense. And defensive line, we got Alan Underwood, which has been with Cheney for a while, and Brandon Dotson, which was at East and then Cheney, and took a few years off, and he's back with us. Corey Michael and Jason Hewlett helping with linebackers and the young guys. Anfo, that was a receivers coach and DB coach over at East, is with us. Coach Mo, I don't know if you know him, but he played at YSU for me. Helped at Cheney a few years back, and he came back in the mix, helping with the young guys in the O-line. Gary Thornton, big and little, both them guys are around, and Little G was part of the merger before over at East and ran, and good to have guys that have been through that process before.
No doubt.
But really a good group of guys that put the kids first.
Right.
That's the number one priority, and that's what we build around.
No
we build
doubt.
this thing around our kids, and we got guys bought into that.
No doubt. Shout out to the coaching staff, man, especially the coaches that lead with relationships. That's always equals the best production as far as football field production. Talk to me about your senior leadership, Coach. I interviewed a couple of these guys. They did an amazing job in the interviews. You could tell they all on the same page. They want to have good chemistry, and they want to make Youngstown proud.
Yeah.
Talk to me about your senior leaders this year, Coach.
No, it's great because you can tell wherever these guys spent their 3 years, they've been coached, and they've been coached about culture and coached about teamwork. And it's good, you always see those juniors take the next step into that senior leadership role. And it's kind of refreshing to see it from both perspectives. Obviously, some of these guys I had for 3 years, some of these guys I had for 2 years, some I haven't had at all. But you can see over the last 3 years, between Coach Culliver, Coach Green, and them, they've built them up for this kind of their senior season.
Right. Talk to me about your team goals, Coach, coming from the man up top. Everything started with you as far as the standard, Coach. What's the team goals this year for the squad?
I think I heard some of our kids say, number one thing for me, honestly, is and it's not really team goals, wins, this and that. It's we're building the culture, we're building the foundation for what the future's sitting waiting for. That's honestly what we're building this thing around, regardless of anything else. With that being said, with the guys we have the ability to win some games. We have some size up front. We have some athletic guys. We got to communicate a little bit better on the field. But there's a lot of potential here. Right,
and I like that, Coach. Now, last thing I got for you, this is more of just a football focus, because like you said, I understand this year one, you want to build the culture, you want to set some good foundational blocks that'll take advantage in the following years. But just talking about on the football field, all right, fill in the gap for me, Coach. The 2026 Youngstown Defenders will be successful if...
That's a good one. Again, I'm going to go back to culture. I believe we have the potential physically. Mentally, we got to get on the same page scheme-wise. But if we take the step culturally and leadership-wise we need to, we're going to be successful.
I love it, Coach. Before we get out of here, we always end with shout-outs, Coach. Look at the camera. Shout out one person or 100, like I tell the kids, family, friends, anybody, Coach.
I got to shout out my parents. They're home watching at some point, I'm sure, and I'm here because of them. So it's my parents all the way. And I'm not going to lie, the whole district admin and everybody that's been a part of this and supporting. We have a group starting a booster club, and everybody that stepped up to the plate for this next step of what Youngstown's doing. Thank you.
Man, I love it, man. He's a great man, great coach, leading a great foundation and a great program here, Coach. We wish you the best of luck this year. We out of here between the lines with Coach Stella. Hey!